economic development and inward investment are things that create activity which normally yields revenue for the government. So the stability element is something that we are not experiencing for the first time in the 48 years I've been, because of the disruption to government revenues and the impact on government spending.
Sir Joe, you say Gibraltar's not experiencing financial stability for the first time in 48 years. What's your definition of financial stability?
Well, frankly, it's a very simple thing. What has happened is that there have been two very big impacts, disruptive impacts, both of which have the effect of reducing the money that comes in and increasing the money that goes out. And therefore, that is not a stable situation, because it can only last so long before you're in real trouble. I mean, this is an extremely serious situation that we're facing, and I don't want to underestimate it or minimize just how serious it is. It will not be an easy thing to deliver.
Gibraltar's response to the COVID emergency was £110 million as of last December, and that included the loss of government revenue. We've also lost some key economic drivers such as tourism, and bunkering has been greatly reduced. What are your priorities going forward?
Look, it's very simple. This is simple arithmetic. If you haven't got enough money to meet what you're spending, you have to find ways of creating extra money coming in, or ways of reducing the amount of money going out. There is no big secret or magic formula about this.
It does sound as though you're talking about cuts in the public sector. You've talked about the public sector being unsustainable in its size. Will there be cuts?
I have been giving warnings, health warnings I've called them, for a number of years. We had for many years around £30 million a year increase in spending. The cost of running the public service, the health service, the education service, everything that the public service require more resources and more manpower to do in order to deliver sometimes improvements, sometimes greater coverage, sometimes, if we decide to give people the opportunity of studying for a second degree after the first one, that costs more money. So every improvement produces an effect on spending, which results in 30 million a year. We reached that point as a result of Brexit, where we got to the point where we could no longer pay for further increases, and we are no longer now able to pay for the increases that have taken place in the last 24 months.
So it's inevitable then that you'll be revisiting some of those increases, and there will be a reduction in some areas of public service.
There will be hard decisions to be taken.
So Joe, you've talked about reducing public expenditure. What would be at the top of the list to be cut? For example, the music festival. Would we expect to see another music festival anytime soon?
Well, we've not had it for 2 years, and I think it will be a long time before it comes back. I mean, the gap between the revenue it yielded and the cost of doing it was £3 million for 2 days. We are in no position to be asking people to accept changes which will impact on their lives and spend that kind of money, in my view.
When do you think we'll start to see some recovery?
Look, I can't tell you that, because at this very moment as we are talking, the position is that the costs are still going up and the income is still going down. But I can tell you one thing that I have already said publicly, and I said it in the last intervention in Parliament: the level of revenue of the government, which was £706 million in 18-19, we will not see again this side of the next general election.